Toxic masculinity.
Oh, yeah. Toxic masculinity. All right. So, the news of the day. Valeria, please.
Yes.
Headline number 1.
Hollywood foreign press isn't black enough.
Yeah, that's right. By the way, guys, today's episode is fantastic. There was a lot of hilarious news over the weekend, and I'm just thrilled to share it with you. So let's go and switch to the desktop. Now, I've got to change this here real quick. Give me 1 second. Chrome, there we go. All right, so this is Tina Fey and the other chick from Parks and Rec. I forget her name. Anyway, they hosted the Golden Globes, and they basically said, we need more black people. So I guess like the LA Times or somebody posted a story, or they reported on this story that nobody at the Hollywood Foreign Press is black, and so they decided that they had to lecture the Hollywood Foreign Press, which hosts the Golden Globes. You shouldn't be just not black. You got to have more black people. So let's go ahead and play that. I've got to make sure that
I don't think it's like black people trying to get into this area. And they're like, no. We don't hire black people.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Maybe
obviously not.
Maybe there is not enough black
Well, let's
people
listen to them
coming.
talk and then let's comment.
Okay.
Because I want you guys to hear this. This is pretty funny.
Oh, this is probably something we should have told you guys earlier. Everybody is understandably upset at the HFPA and their choices. Look, a lot of flashy garbage got nominated, but that happens, okay? That's like their thing. But a number of black actors and black-led projects were overlooked.
And look, we all know that award shows are stupid.
Yeah. They're all a scam invented by Big Red Carpet.
To sell more carpet.
We know that.
The point is, even with stupid things, inclusivity is important, and there are no black members of the Hollywood Foreign Press. I realize HFPA, maybe you guys didn't get the memo because your workplace is the back booth of a French McDonald's, but you got to change that. So here's to changing it.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that change. We do have some good news. We are raising money tonight.
All right, so that was the you got to change that. You got to stop being so white. Now, I don't know how white the Hollywood Foreign Press is, but here's my take on it, because I'm not 100% sure what's going on over there at the Hollywood Foreign Press, but I do know this. I live in LA. I know a lot of people in Hollywood, and they're not racist.
Oh no, they're the opposite.
They're
the
super
opposite.
diversity plus, anti-race. They're really racist against white people and men, really. I mean, they're bigoted against those two groups.
That's true.
So this idea that like they're sort of intentionally keeping black people out or whatever, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. My guess.
They're not even racist against like straight white men. I have a friend, he's white and he is gay. And he was trying to get a cast for a gay, like as an actor. They didn't hire him.
Yeah.
They hired some straight
Yeah,
guy who
'cause
was
he's
pretending to
blonde.
be. Yeah, maybe
Right.
that's the problem.
So okay, so here's what I'm thinking is going on here. The Hollywood Foreign Press, from what I understand, and I don't really know too much about it, it's mainly like British people and other Europeans. And there are black people in Britain for sure, but mostly I would say like Indians or Pakistanis, people like that. But like, despite the fact that Europe is getting more and more diverse through this immigration stuff, Europe doesn't have a ton of diversity still. I mean, it is mostly white people. And the Hollywood Foreign Press, I think, is mostly Europeans. Now, I think there's probably some Asian people in the Hollywood Foreign Press. I don't know for sure. But here's my guess. I doubt there's a lot of Africans from Africa represented in the Hollywood Foreign Press, because I just don't think there's like a thriving news media in Africa. I don't think there's like a really well-established international, I've never seen like the Zimbabwe international news as an option. I see France 24. I see DW, which is a German channel, Deutsche Welle. I see, BBC, all kinds of, Sky News. I see Australian Sky News. I see all kinds of like foreign stuff from white countries. I very rarely see any news media, like major news media companies from out of Africa. I just don't think they probably have the money or the size to be able to afford to send people over. Or
I don't think they can afford it, because the only news I can see about Africa, how Africans stealing all of the food from warehouses because they just not don't have any food.
right.
They can't afford food. How they can
How
afford
are they going to?
press?
Well, I mean, there are some rich Africans. There are some companies in Africa that are, I imagine.
Is
The
it
only
like
thing-
1? Is it like 1%?
Well, exactly. Yeah. So what Africa is a lot of these countries have a dictator, have like a ruling class, and they basically just steal money from the people.
It's basically like Chinese government. Only how much Asians are rich? Like 5%.
Yeah, I
like
mean, and
this.
also you have Japan, you have Korea, South Korea, you have a variety of Asian countries that do relatively well, Singapore, and they probably have representatives here in America to do news, but it may really just be a problem of they don't have any black people to fill those slots. It's like, I mean, it's basically like saying you need more female engineers, right? That's a big thing that they say. You need more female engineers. Well, if there's not a lot of women trying to be engineers,
Well, you can try to encourage, and you can say we will pay, like government will pay for your education or something like this. You will get stipends.
stipends. But these
yeah.
artificial incentives are proven to fail. So this they do this in the Scandinavian countries a lot, because the Scandinavian countries are big on egalitarianism. They really want women to be equal, blacks to be equal, all this kind of stuff. They like equity, not just equality. So they do exactly what you're saying. And what you find is that women in, say, like India go into engineering a lot more than women in the Scandinavian countries. Well, why is that? You'd think that they have more opportunity in the Scandinavian countries, right? But actually, what you find is the people in India, if you're poor or even like lower middle class in India, you have a situation in which you're really desperate for money. And you'll... Go on. You look like you want to say something.
Indians are good hackers. One time my Uber account was stolen
But it was
from India.
It was probably a woman.
I don't think so.
Well, but so the point is that in India, if that's your best opportunity to make money for your family, and you're a woman, you're probably going to go into that field, right? It just depends on how much opportunity you have. In the Scandinavian countries, you essentially have infinite opportunity. Basically, anybody in the Scandinavian countries, if they're mildly intelligent, could basically do any job they want for the rest of their lives. They could just go into any field. Now, what you find in these countries where you have all this choice is that the women choose not to go into engineering. And even when you have these big government pushes and they have subsidies for women, you will see a shift, but then once those subsidies end and they stop those programs, it always shifts back. And the reason it shifts back is because women just don't want to be flippant engineers. And honestly, like a lot of the money that goes into these programs to try to force women into these fields they don't necessarily want to go into, how happy are you making them? I actually look at all of feminism like this. I say, if you're a feminist and you demand that women not have babies and not be housewives and not do the typical things that women have done for thousands of years, but rather you go work for a corporation and be CEO and be a politician and try to be, something, some kind of powerful person, you may actually be dooming these women to a life of misery. This is something that Gavin McGinnis talks about this a lot, and he's absolutely right. Like, stop forcing people to do things that are unnatural for them. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's like you are not forcing me to cook because I don't like cooking.
That's true. I don't force her to cook because she doesn't like cooking. And she appreciates that, don't you,
Oh
darling?
yeah, a lot. Like that's it's just so nice.
But she is an excellent cook, and she does cook occasionally. What's your favorite? You cook this little thing with zucchini, right?
Zucchini, yeah. It's like an appetizer. Well, your family likes it.
My family loves it. I love it. I'll eat a gazillion pounds of this, but it's very bad for you because it's like very fried. All right, enough about
I like
Valeria's...
this comment.
Huh, okay.
Just one comment. Binary recoil.
Yep.
The dollar button is not there on mine yet for super chat, but I'm broke anyway.
It's okay, guys. We don't necessarily want people to have to pay money to chat. The reason Super Chat is good is because it kind of gives us if you have a lot of people. Now, this probably isn't true for this show, but for my Mr. Reagan show, when I would do a live stream, it was very, very difficult to get to like detect which comments people really wanted me to express and what comments were just people chatting on the chat. And so Super Chat, if people pay a couple bucks, then I can see, it like lights up and then I'll read it. And it was actually very hard. When I had the Mr. Reagan live streams, there were so many people, I couldn't do all the Super Chats. It was like, so this will be a little bit easier.
So
but
you even couldn't do the Super Chats because there was
it was tough. I mean, but I was by myself. Having you, it'll be a little bit easier.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next story.
California Teachers Union president who leads school closure caught dropping daughter off at private school.
Yeah, that's right. Can I just say, by the way, there was more to that other story I forgot to say. Toxic Masculinity, weekdays 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.